Hello, hey everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. This is another episode of It's a Butch Queen World Sex, Love, and Tea. Today's a special episode. I'm doing an episode with my grandma. My grandma actually used to do radio back in the day, WDAS, in Philadelphia. And so, yeah, it like runs in the family to be hosts and stuff like that. But yeah, everybody, welcome my grandma.
Good afternoon. My name is Giuseppe Abdul-Kahar. And in the Muslim tradition, I'm going to start this card off with a prayer. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم. Amen.
Amen. So today we're going to be talking about sex. And what I mean as in that, we're going to have a little discussion, talking about sex, what sex mean in relationships, what is sex, why people are the way they are with sex, why do sex have such a high demand. So yeah, let's dive in to this episode and let's have this conversation with this lovely young legend over here. So yeah.
Good afternoon. My name is Giuseppe Abdul-Kahar, and I'm on this podcast with my grandson, London.
Yes, ma'am. Let me put some hand claps. Yes.
Oh, thank you. I'm now going to resume on today's topic of sex. And as a senior, I'm not getting sex. But when you get to a certain age, the sexual activity without a mate, I should say, the sexual activity dwindles. If I had been married 30 or 40 years, I would still be having it, but I'm not. Have not been married since 1972. Therefore, I'm a new virgin.
Okay, yes for the new virgin. Yes, you could become a virgin again. Talk up a little bit so they can hear you a little bit more.
Okay, thank you so much for those instructions. Now, I was talking about my virginity, acknowledging my second phase of virginity. Because it's not something you don't want to do. It's about sex in the mind. So you have those endorphins in your mind, the aphrodisiac would make you feel good and have desires for someone else. It's a mental thing.
Correct.
And so now I don't dwell on it. Since I don't think about it, I don't miss it. Now that's not true because I do miss it, but I don't dwell on it.
Correct.
Therefore, I do not miss it. However, sex is in the mind, and attraction begin also in the mind.
So, okay, so you have 4 children. So, what was sex life like back in the day, around your time?
Well, in my younger years, as I said, it was a mental thing, and I was pretty active.
Okay.
But since I moved over to New Jersey in 1976 or 78. I've been celibate.
Okay.
Because sex is a mental thing, so in my mind I have to be attracted to an individual before I give him my body.
Correct.
So if I'm not nearly as active now as I used to be.
Correct.
And that's because of my mental capacity. Not that I'm senile. Not that I'm not senile. I am senile. And it does affect my ability and my desires. It does affect them. However, it's not foremost in my mind. I don't have to have, I can function without it because I've been doing so well. Not that I don't miss it, but I can't function without it. So
right.
It's not something that's foremost on my mind that I have to have, and I don't dwell on it. In my desire to find a sexual mate, I became involved, unfortunately, with a man who was deceitful and a liar.
Okay.
Because and he was a foreigner, that's what it was.
Okay.
So, as a result, my daughter was doing a few things for help in terms of helping him. He missed his Social Security card.
Okay.
And status in terms of being a Mexican. So because he didn't have anyone else, he latched toward her, and still to this day continues to call her when he needs. She's his power of attorney.
Right.
And she oversees his income.
So, how do you think sex affect relationships, like good and bad?
Well, for the good, as I said, sex is a mind thing. And for the good, when you're always thinking about him, you always want him or her. So that's the mental aspect of sexual desire. Because some music can trigger that response in you. A scent can trigger that response in you. There are many things that can trigger responses in you. But you have to be able to control those responses. That's why I say sex is a mental conditioning.
Correct.
And you have to be mentally, because you can be triggered by a song on the radio. But if you don't have your mental capacities about you, you'll be going out grabbing the first thing you see. And that's not about sex. There's a difference in sex and control, because men rape women about being in control. They want to minimize the woman and cut her down to somebody that's an object of their affection, because it's not sex. Rape is not sex and love. Maybe it's just a desire that you have, that you should be able to control that urge. Especially if someone's telling you no.
Yes, you should. So that's like your good and bad.
Well, that's the bad. Rape is the bad.
Right.
The good is when you love somebody and your emotions are involved and you have endorphins and sexual and sensual triggers, then that's when it's good. That's why a lot of people become married and stay married, because they mature in their mind. Maturity comes with age. So therefore, the more they age, the more mature they become. And as a result, That's why they know when you have a long time relationship, you're not looking around for someone else. If you're satisfied mentally with what you have already, you're not going from person to person, man to man, and female to female. You're content and satisfied mentally with what you have, because you know that out there in the world, you're not going to find the same thing that mentally you're used to, because you can set your whole world upside down if you gravitate towards some that's not mentally suited for you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have something in common. You have to have things in common before you should enter into a sexual relationship.
Correct. Yeah, and a lot of people don't understand it. And a lot of people just go off their emotions with sex and
Yes.
think that that's the person that he or she want to be with. And down the line, when they realize that besides sex, they don't have anything else in common
It
that
doesn't
they
work.
like. Yeah, so.
And then they become complacent and decide that they want to look elsewhere. But they don't realize that what they had, they're not going to find with anyone else.
Correct.
So they need not look, but that mentality, the endorphins, the rage and desire kicking up because you think that you're missing something because you're not having sex with your partner, and you want to go out and find it elsewhere. You think mentally that you're missing something, and you're not really missing something, because we all have the same appendages. Males have penises and women have vaginas. The reason for that, God made us like that so that women can bear the burden of childbearing. That's not something a man can do.
Correct.
A man can't bear a child.
Correct.
But and God made it like that with all the animals, females and males, birds, pigeons, cats, dogs,
Insects.
yeah, anything. And then he also made it so there's a time that the female can conceive, and there's a time that she cannot conceive. Then a male's hormones he has to get in control over those. So he recognizes that there's a time that he has to forego having sex even though he wants to. But mentally he knows he shouldn't unless he wants to create a child.
And stuff like that is just amazing because people don't understand that sex matters a lot.
Yes.
And it's other sex is not always bad. You know, sex, for one, sex brings a human being into life. You know, so sex plays a big role in a human being life. Well, not just a human being, just life, period.
Yeah, even animals.
It-
Because you might go along and see a pack of dogs following one dog. That means she's in heat and they want to get their turn.
Correct.
And in terms of animals, at night you hear a cat say meow. That cat is being assaulted by a male cat. And if you have an animal, if you have a cat and it becomes in heat, don't let that cat out because it'll come back with a stomach full of babies for you.
Well, so right now this is part 1 of sex with my grandma. We're gonna have to stop it here because we're running out of time. So we will catch you guys on part 2 of sex with my grandmother, and this is another episode of It's a Butch Queen World, Sex, Love, and Tea. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, please. Thank you.